here with Jonathan Bailey, and he is the owner of copybyte.com. Can you please say something about, how to go about and protect your work, and how small businesses need to consider that, even entrepreneurs need to consider, so they don't want to spend time, writing content and then it doesn't get protected. So,
well, what happens a lot of time, especially with businesses that are blogging and putting a lot of marketing material out there, is they spend all this time and energy creating very excellent content. They get it out on the internet, they celebrate, and then they find that other people who maybe don't have such pure intentions will take it, they'll copy it, they'll plagiarize it, and they'll put it up on their own sites. And suddenly the search engines can be confused, especially if you're a new company and you don't have a lot of inbound links to protect you in Google. And so what you see is all these companies get their content used, they get bumped down in search engine rankings, and that eventually leads to lower sales and slower growth, basically. And what you have to do when you put content out there is not simply put it on the web and be done. You have to track it, you have to monitor it, to see the good uses that are going on, the people that are sharing and talking about it, but also track the bad people. And there are various ways to do that. The simplest being just to search for key phrases in Google. One very good way to search for just about any text on the web.
And when you discover that your text has been copied, how should you go about, what steps should you take in order to prevent that again?
Well, the most common step is simply what's known as a cease and desist letter, and that is when you reach out to the plagiarist or the infringer and say, look, you're using my work, it's illegal, please stop. And most of the times they will. I'll say you'll get a good conclusion about 75–80% of the time you do that. If you have to go beyond that phase, and sometimes it's necessary because you can't reach that person or because they're being uncooperative, if the site's hosted within the European Union, the U.S., and you'll find that the vast majority of sites are in one of those two places, you can file what's known as a takedown notice. In the U.S., it's a DMCA takedown notice. In Europe, it's the European Directive of Electronic Commerce, the EDEC takedown notice. The notices are essentially the same. You file that with the web host, and you tell the host this content is infringing, please remove it, and the host has an obligation to remove it, or else they face liability in court for the infringement.
Oh, I see. And how does your company help small businesses and entrepreneurs if they find themselves in this type of situation?
Well, we provide content monitoring services. We use a variety of tools, including Google, among others, but a lot of automated tools as well to track content. This includes text, images, audio, video. We track a variety of content, and we provide the services for sending out the cease and desist letters, and we provide the services for filing the DMCA takedown notices as needed. And we also help small businesses develop strategies for their content, how to encourage sharing of their work that they won't, for example, using licensing techniques to encourage people to use their work but provide that link back so that way the search engines know who is the originator and also get that SEO juice out of it. And basically to find ways using that licensing to shut out the bad guys and prevent the bad uses. And so that way you get, kind of have your cake and eat it too. You can keep out the people you don't want using your content and let the good uses in.
Great. And I know you mentioned something about sharing your work. There may be other websites that have excellent content that I would like to use on my site. How do I go about requesting to see if I can use some of their articles? Should I do that? Does that cause a problem with duplication of content for Google? How does one proceed with that?
Well, you can use a small snippets of other people's content, typically under fair use, and that's usually fine. Always provide attribution. Not only does it good idea just in terms of ethics and in terms of what people expect on the web, but it's also a good idea legally. Typically, it shows good faith. You can do that typically. If you want to use longer form content, you ask permission is the easiest way. Find someone to get in touch with. The webmaster is usually a very good contact for this, and they'll usually have for website information, contact this person. So basically find someone, get a hold of them, ask for permission, and receive it. And another way to get permission is to search for works that's used underneath that's licensed underneath a Creative Commons license. Very easy to search for. Google provides a Creative Commons search. Yahoo provides one as well. You can find content that's completely legal to use. All you have to do is complete the terms of the license, and it's spelled out very clearly in it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great to know. Well, Jonathan, thank you very much. Your input is absolutely invaluable. Thank you.